If you think you need 6 figures a year just to survive, it's not entirely true. Because right now, thousands of Americans are quietly leaving the U.S., and it's not because they hate it, but because the math just isn't working anymore. Between housing, healthcare, insurance, and taxes, it all adds up fast. And for a lot of people, the question is no longer, should I move abroad? It becomes, where can I actually afford to buy and still live well? Now, in my lifetime, I've traveled to a lot of countries and to a lot of states within the United States. And if you're new here, I'm Mark, and I help people plan relocations and buy and sell properties in the U.S. and around the world. Personally helped over about 500 families successfully relocate and buy homes with confidence. And if you want my help for free, then just call the number below for one-on-one guidance. So today, I want to walk you through 3 countries where Americans are buying property at significantly lower price points. And I'll give you real numbers so you can see what ownership actually looks like, and more importantly, whether it makes sense for you. Now, let's start with Portugal. Portugal has become one of Europe's most attractive destinations for American buyers. And it's not just because of the price. It offers political stability, strong infrastructure, excellent healthcare, and it consistently ranks as one of the safest countries in Europe. And when you combine that with relaxed lifestyle and beautiful scenery, it starts to make a lot of sense. Now, when it comes time to buying property, Lisbon is the premium market. Now, condos in central Lisbon typically range from about, I'd say, $350,000 to $650,000, depending on the neighborhood and size. And in the historic districts and newer luxury developments, prices can climb higher. But here's where it gets interesting. If you just move 20 to 40 minutes outside of Lisbon, prices become much more approachable. In cities like Braga or Coimbra, you often see quality apartments in the $180,000 to $300,000 range. And detached homes outside the main city centers can range from $250,000 to $500,000, depending on the land, the views, and the finishes. And when you compare that to many U.S. coastal markets where similar properties can easily exceed $800,000 or even $1 million, well, the difference is significant. And beyond pricing, Portugal offers something many buyers are craving: walkable cities. They have a strong cafe culture, mild weather almost year-round, and beaches along the Algarve that truly rival some of the best in the world. And the healthcare system is highly regarded, and private insurance is often far more affordable than what people are used to in the U.S. And on top of that, Portugal has structured residency pathways, which makes long-term planning more predictable. Now, if Europe feels a little too far or culturally different, then Panama may be worth serious consideration. Panama has built a strong reputation as one of the most expat-friendly countries in Central America. One of the biggest advantages is that it uses the U.S. dollar, which removes currency exchange concerns. And it also has a solid banking system and modern infrastructure, especially in Panama City. And in Panama City, modern high-rise condos in the desirable neighborhoods typically range from about $180,000 to $400,000. Now, ocean view luxury units can go higher, but that is a common entry to mid-range window. And if you head to Boquete, which is a mountain town popular with retirees because of its spring-like climate, single-family homes generally fall between $220,000 and I'd say $450,000, depending on size and location. And in smaller cities like David, entry-level homes can start around $120,000 to $250,000. And as you can see, there is flexibility depending on the lifestyle you want. Now, Panama also offers attractive residency programs, including the Pensionado program for retirees, which provides discounts on utilities, travel, and entertainment. And when it comes to the lifestyles, you get a variety. You have beaches on both the Pacific and the Caribbean sides, and then you have the mountain living also. You have a modern city life, all within a relatively compact country. Healthcare is modern and affordable, particularly in Panama City. And many expats report paying a fraction of U.S. medical costs while still receiving high-quality care. Now, let's talk about the country that consistently ranks as the top destination for American buyers, and that is Mexico. Now, Mexico's proximity to the U.S. makes it incredibly appealing. You can drive back across the border or catch a short flight home. That accessibility alone removes a major psychological barrier for many buyers because you never feel too far away. Property pricing varies widely depending on the location, which actually works in your favor because you have options. In Mexico City, condos in desirable neighborhoods typically range from about 180,000 to 450,000, and in premium districts can go higher, but there's still solid mid-market opportunities. And in the colonial cities like Merida or San Miguel, homes often fall between $200,000 and $500,000 depending on the condition and location. And if you look at the smaller towns or coastal regions outside the major tourist hotspot, properties can still range from $120,000 to say $300,000. Now, your beachfront and high demand resort areas will obviously command higher premiums, but there are still opportunities if you just know where to look. And really what makes Mexico attractive is not just the pricing, it's the cultural richness, the food, the strong expat communities in certain areas, and the wide range of climates, from beach towns to higher altitude cities with cooler temperatures. Healthcare is another major factor. Many Americans report paying dramatically lower prices for private care, dental work, and procedures compared to the U.S. Mexico also offers structured temporary and permanent residency options, which makes long-term planning realistic for buyers who want stability. So when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, Portugal offers European charm and structure. Panama offers simplicity with a dollar-based system and expat-friendly. And Mexico offers proximity, cultural vibrancy, and pricing diversity. All three of these give buyers something that is becoming increasingly rare in many U.S. markets, and that is flexibility. Now, you can buy at a price point below many Americans are paying for entry-level homes in expensive states. And you can potentially lower property taxes. You may reduce your healthcare costs, and you can design a lifestyle that aligns better with your budget and priorities. But here's the part that most people underestimate. Buying abroad is not just about a price. You got to make sure that you understand foreign ownership laws, closing costs, residency pathways, and tax implications both locally and back in the U.S. And you also need to think long-term, not just about affordability today, but sustainability over the next 10 to 20 years. And that's where planning becomes critical. If you're seriously considering buying overseas, whether for retirement, a second home, or full relocation, start by looking at your numbers clearly. Compare ownership costs, not just the listing prices. Factor in your taxes, your insurance, maintenance, and residency options so you have the full picture. And if this helps you see what's possible, make sure you subscribe for more relocation insights. And if you're actually planning a move, reach out. I'd be happy to help you build a clear strategy. Because sometimes the smartest financial move is not earning more, it is owning in a market where your money works harder and your lifestyle feels lighter.